Hello everyone, my name is R. Anusha, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from MLR Institute of Technology. I am here to discuss a subject called as data structures, that why we use data structures and what are the different contents that are to be read in data structures, and what are the different types of data structures we have, how these data structures are being used in the real-time applications also. In the I have a small PPT regarding it. Let me share my PPT of it. After today's session, the learner will be able to know what is data structure, why we have to learn data structure, what are the different types of data structures we have, and how this data structures are being implemented in the real-time applications also, and what are the real-time applications we are using this data structure. Let me start the session with that, why we have to learn data structures. Okay, why we have to learn data structures? To learn, if we have large amount of data, some bulk amount of data, and if we want to perform some operations on that data, the data should be organized in an efficient manner, that it should be maintained in an organized manner. Suppose if we don't have data in an organized manner, we cannot access that data very easily, and it also will become very difficult for us to perform different tasks on the data. So compulsorily the data should be in an organized manner, then only we can perform different types of tasks on that data or operations on that data. So with the help of this data structures concept, we can organize the data in an efficient manner, that is an organized manner. So it will be very easy for accessing us the data, and also to perform the operations on the data very easily. And also by the help of this data structures, we can also implement or design different types of efficient algorithms. And also we can know that how the data is being stored onto the computer memory, and also in different types of memories. Hope you have understood why we are using data structures. And coming to the syllabus, that in this data structure sessions, coming up sessions, what is the syllabus we are going to cover? That is, the first one is about introduction to data. In this we'll be seeing about the different types of linked list and its operations, circular linked list, its operations, and double linked list and its operations. And the other data structures about stacks and queues and its implementations, and what are the operations that we perform on stacks and queues. The other one is trees and graphs, how the data are organized in the form of trees and graphs. The other one is different types of searching and sorting algorithms. And the other one is binary search trees. And in this, we'll be seeing about AVL trees, red, black trees, and all. The complete syllabus have been categorized into 5 units. And coming to these are the textbooks which we prefer for referencing of data structures. The first one is Fundamentals of Data Structures by Elise Horowitz, that is by Satrat Sahani, and the other one is Data Structure Using C by Rima Teresa. These are the two preferred textbooks which are used for referencing of data structures, and these are the course outcomes. Here, after the end of this course, we'll be able to know what is time and space complexity, what are the different, that is we can evaluate the each and every algorithm basing upon its time and memory complexity, and we can find the new solution by the help of this different types of algorithms of searching or sorting. And we can implement the basic data structures like arrays, linked list, stacks, and queues. And we can also have application of algorithms on hash, searching, and sorting techniques. And we can also implement the advanced data structures like AVL trees, red, black trees, B trees, and all. Before that, before entering into the course, we have to know what is the data structure and what is the general definition of data structure. Data structure is a method of organizing large amount of data more efficiently, that we can perform the operation on that data very easily. And these are the different types of data structures we have. Basically, the data structures have been classified into two types. One is primitive data structure, and the other one is non-primitive data structure. Under primitive data structure, we have int, char, and float. Under non-primitive data structures, we have linear data structures and non-linear data structure. Here, primitive data structures are generally like int, char, float, and double. This primitive data structure generally hold only one value. It means with the help of this primitive data structures, we can assign or hold only single value for a single variable. If you want to hold more than one values at a time, then we go for non-primitive data structures. Here, this non-primitive data structure can hold more than one value at a time. Here, this been have classified again into linear and non-linear data structures. Under linear, we have arrays, linked lists, stacks, and queues. Under non-linear, we have trees and graphs. Here, array is a concept where the elements are stored in a sequential order, which is of homogeneous type. If you want to store the data of heterogeneous type, then we go for the concept of structures. And if you want to hold more than one value like arrays, we have other data structures like linked list, stacks, and queues, which all will be seeing in the coming up sessions, and also about linear and trees and graphs. But one thing we have to know that in this linear data structures, the data is stored in a linear order, that is in a sequential order. Whereas coming to non-linear data structure, the data is stored in the form of non-sequential order, so that we can traverse in any way, that from the bottom to top we can traverse, and from top to any middle of the tree also we can traverse. So these have been classified in these ways. And coming to the applications of data structures, that actually where this data structures have been used. These are the different types of data structures what we have seen in the previous slide, but actually in general real-time applications where this have been used. Coming to arrays. Arrays, suppose if you want to book a ticket online, it may be for movies or bus, train, or for some flights, whatever it might be. If you want to book a ticket online, just you enter into that particular site, and in that particular site you can see the visibility of seats like this. So directly you press on a particular seat which you want to book, it get booked automatically. So you come to know that the particular seat have been booked automatically. But in the back end, in the memory, how it been stored, see, this seat is reserved at fourth column and third row. So in the memory, the particular seat is stored at seat number 3 4. It means at third row, fourth column. This is where the arrays are used for any booking of ticket system. Presently this is one application of array. For online booking system, this arrays concept have been used. It may be for movies or flights or buses or whatever it might be. And coming to linked list, where do we use this linked list in? Let me share an example of it. Suppose we all know what is a music player. We generally use this music player for listening of songs. Suppose if you want to listen songs, you are starting with song 1. Then after song 1, song 2 get played. After song 2, song 3 get played. After song 3, song 4 get played. After song 3, song 4 get played. So after song 4, if you want to go back for song 2, this cannot be played when we use the single linked list concept. Whereas after song 4, it gets stopped immediately without stopping it. So coming to suppose if we have anything like after song 4, if you want to go back for song 3, then we use this concept of double linked list in a music player. Like song 1 will be played, next after that song 2 will be played, next song 3. After song 3, if you want to go back and play song 2, then it can be done if we use this double linked list concept. Suppose after song 4, if you want to repeat from song 1 again continuously, then you go for circular linked list, where in a sequential order, after song 1, song 2 after song 3, and after song 3 you can go for song 4, and after song 4 it will not get stopped. Again it will be going back, and song 1 will be played continuously unless you stop the music player. This is the general application of list or linked list where we use in a music player application. And coming to stacks, we use stacks in suppose the basic example now where we stacks are using is in browsing and internet. This follows the principle of LIFO, that is last in first out. Whatever we visit last will be coming out first or going out first. See, suppose here I have opened a google.com site. On the stack it is storing as google.com. After this I'm opening some MLR site, then on to the stack MLR will be storing, and after MLR I'm opening the CSC site. I'm opening the CSC domain. Again that CSC URL will be stored. Now, if I want to come back to this MLR, this I have to press this back button. Immediately this CXC will be removed and MLR will be coming. That is, whatever we are visiting last will be moving out first. After then MLR, then we go back to google.com. This is where in the general we are using the stack application. And coming to Q follows the principle of FIFO, that is first in, first out. This is the general application where you, suppose if you go for banks or schools anywhere, we follow this Q principle, that who come first will be served first. So here we have three persons, that the first person will be serving first, and the second person will be serving second, and third person will be serving third. If you want any principle like first come first serve, then in that particular applications we use this Q principle. Next, coming to the graphs, the basic very much important application where you use this graph is Google Maps. Here nowadays everyone are using this Google Maps for finding out the length or distance from one place to another. Suppose if I want to move from Tamil Nadu to New Delhi, I just press on Google Maps that I want to travel from Tamil Nadu and the destination place is New Delhi. Then what happens, it shows us all the different paths that are available from New Delhi to Tamil Nadu or Tamil Nadu to New Delhi. Then, and also it shows the distance. So we travel with the minimum distance. It is mainly used in Google Maps, and also by the help of this graphs, we can find the shortest path, and we have many more algorithms created by the help of this graph principle. This is all about today's session. Hope you have understood all the concepts what we have covered in today's session, that what is data structures, why we use data structures, and where we are using this data structures in real-time applications, and what are the concepts we are going to study in this data structures course, and at the end of the course also what are the outcomes we are expecting after the course is also been discussed in this session. Hoping you have understood this. Thank you. We'll meet again with the next session.